About 5 years ago, I decided to give up paper towels. Now, I haven't completely given them up. There are places where you really do need paper towels, but we don't need them all the time. And I've come to realize that I prefer regular cotton cloth towels to paper towels. There are things that you can do with a cloth towel that you can't even think about doing with a paper towel. So I'm not saying give them up completely, but I'm sure by now I have saved a lot of money. I saw a blogger post about this years ago, and I wish I remember her name. And so if you're recognizing this, I'm very sorry not to give you credit, because she had some wonderful ideas as to how to be successful in replacing paper with cloth. First of all, she said, find towels that can be displayed in a very convenient place for you to grab them. And she had a pretty jar. I have a jar that's from a set where I broke the lid. In fact, I have two of them, and I'm working towards a third. And it's a simple thing. This doesn't look terribly messy, and I'm only folding these towels in half and then just putting them in the jar. They're very easy to grab. Not a problem at all. So you put them in a prominent spot so you can grab them. Otherwise, you forget you have them. The wrong place for towels, in my estimation, is in a drawer, because you're going to be using them all the time. So when I'm laundering, I only fold the towel in half, and I get a stack, and then I just insert them one edge into the bottom of this jar, and then I've got this dispenser. It's very simple. The other thing you have to remember, in as well as having cotton, I recommend cotton for kitchen cloths. Whatever type you get a lot of them so you can do them all in one batch, and fold them in half like this and get them ready. It doesn't take much time at all. Last night, before we filmed, I realized we had gone through all of our cloth towels, so I threw them in the washer before I went to bed. First thing this morning, put them in the dryer, folded them, and they were in their jar ready to go. The other thing to remember is you must have a convenient place to discard the old towels. You do not want half-used towels like this one over here draped all over your kitchen. First of all, it's not sanitary. If it's a little damp, then my laundry that's labeled laundry that's in a prominent place, you probably shouldn't put it down at the bottom, because then it can mold. So we hang those over to dry a little bit. It looks unsightly, but it works. And so we have a place to park those no longer needed soiled towels right away. The other problem I've had is getting the family trained to use a towel and then just discard it right away. They said, well, can't we hang them up? Well, no. You wouldn't hang up a paper towel. And in fact, I've noticed we humans have gotten so used to the convenience of paper towels that we'll use several all at once and throw them away. But the idea of having a single use for a cloth towel seems almost unmanageable. It can't happen. But I've noticed gradually we're all coming to depend on always having a clean towel to grab. It's really, I started out trying to save the earth with this decision to give up my dependence on paper towels. And now I feel like I am pampering myself by mostly using cloth in the kitchen. There are a few places where you can't, what you do when you don't have a paper towel. One might be draining bacon, but I've noticed that I tend to put bacon on a rack to drain, and that does a real good job. And the other thing is, if you have a lot of oil or grease that you want to get rid of, well, if you save and reuse a Ziploc bag, after the oil has cooled, you can scrape it into a Ziploc bag. Never put hot bacon oil anywhere. Let it cool no matter how you deal with it. Then it's not going to mess up your garbage system either. But we have habits that aren't necessarily logical in using paper towels. Another place I do use paper towels is in the bathroom when we have a lot of people over. I don't like cloth towels being reused and reused by people. That's the luxury of paper towels. I would put some of these towels in the bathroom, but I probably wouldn't have any cooperation at all from the family. They would want to save those. So I do use them on a limited basis. If you think about it, one of the problems with paper towels is storage. You don't want to run out, so you have to store them somewhere. And if you're just using small numbers of paper towels, it's not an issue. So all in all, I think we can all save the earth and pamper ourselves by lessening our dependence on paper towels and going to cloth. I've tried cloth. I'm on my second set in 6 years. It's not bad every 3 years or so to discard, and some of them will lose their water absorbency, and I like them to be absorbent, so that's about when I change them. But I am very happy with them. My first batch I got from Amazon. I was just looking for an inexpensive cotton towel. You can pay a lot. Do not buy don't buy 50 towels at $5 a piece. This current one we got in the automotive supplies at Costco, and they're very inexpensive, and they were very absorbent. They're losing their absorbency, so I'm going to go ahead and get a third set. But look, if I go through 3 sets of 50 towels, so I've gone through 150 towels in 18 years. Think of the money if the equivalent of paper towels was purchased and used all of that time. I hope that you try this.